Whoa, jump scare! If I remember correctly, the last time my voice was, voiced on this channel was almost 5 years ago during COVID when we made those god-awful Latin application videos when I was in 8th grade. A lot has changed, specifically my mic quality, but I've been wanting to get into Storytime content for a while, which is quite hard when you realize just how uninteresting and bland of a person I am, but here I am, and definitely not because this is for a college assignment. Right, Professor? Anyway, in 6th grade, I picked up a book from the library. Remember when we still went to those? It was an informational guide called The Warrior's Guide, which sounds like a pretty badass name until you realize it's about fighting kitty cats. But that's besides the point. The book itself had a choose-your-own-adventure style game in the back, and I distinctly remember that I rallied the other students in my class of 7 to play with me. In summary, I had unknowingly became an unofficial DM. I was quite adamant that everyone made their own characters, of which I drew a little pictures of. If I still had them, I'd show them, but clearly I wasn't thinking that far ahead. That campaign was actually where Otterpaw came from, my oldest OC. Can we flash him on the screen for a moment? Oh, look, there he is. He's so cute, and I'm such a proud mama. Flash forward a few years later, and I'm still blissfully unaware of what Dungeons & Dragons is. I was only exposed to it when one of the teachers in my new school started an after-school tabletop club, which also included Magic the Gathering, but I don't like Magic the Gathering because, like the people of Salem, I'm afraid of things I don't understand. I remember tentatively asking if I could join the D&D campaign, and then untentatively proceeding to bombard the DM with questions about homebrew and unofficial D&D races. I knew then I was going to love it. I couldn't wrap my little head around the idea that, no, I couldn't be a Sevatar, but yes, I could be a Centaur. If you couldn't guess by now, what I am drawing is that Sevatar Centaur. Meet Calentha of Thorned Flower, my cleric Sevatar, and first ever D&D character. Now, I am going to admit something. I love the character aspect building of D&D more than the actual playing of the game, especially because I love drawing the characters. If it wasn't clear from the fact that I have around 3 Azamar characters and my persona literally has 2 sets of wings, I loved drawing wing characters, and D&D is full of that. Obsessive behavior plus an outlet, sign me up. But I'm getting sidetracked. In my senior year of high school, which was oh so long ago, my best friend and I started a D&D club after the old one was disbanded during COVID. It was a very popular club with a whopping 4 members, and I was the dungeon master. Remember how I said I liked the character building aspect of D&D? Yeah, turns out that I actually hate DMing because I suck at it, and that's just not fair. My friends and I went to a local tabletop game store and bought a lot of items, mainly the beginner's guide for D&D with a pre-made campaign, and that was my crux for the entire duration of the club. Sadly, I don't think that club still exists, but it was fun while it lasted. But apparently, I was so good at the club while it was a thing, which I mean with no sarcastic intent, that our school's director asked us to host a D&D campaign centered around the Industrial Revolution. Now, I hope no one from my D&D club is watching this because they don't need to know that I enjoyed hosting the Revolutionary campaign more than the entirety of our own campaign. Giving credit where credit is due, my best friend was the one who'd made most of the writing for the campaign, but hey, I made the drawings, which was totally more important. I was going to draw small figures for each of the kids' characters, but it seems my ambition does know bounds, and that is drawing characters for 30 kids who probably wouldn't actually appreciate the jester. I limited myself to only drawing characters who were main characters for the campaign. If you couldn't tell, I love making art, and making art about something that I also love? Ooh, that's just the cherry on top. But that wasn't my favorite part. Despite how this entire time I've been quite adamant about the fact that I hate DMing and I love character building, I actually really enjoyed DMing this time. I enjoyed watching the kids have fun, and perhaps DMing wasn't something I enjoyed because I was used to DMing a bunch of perfectionist nerds, which I say very lovingly. Instead, I got to watch kids who genuinely enjoyed what they were doing. I loved hearing how these kids tried to problem solve and how they really grew into their roles. It made my experience just that much more enjoyable, even if that wasn't quite the idea. Plus, one of the kids asked for my drawing with a signature on it, so that was pretty cool too. Just saying.